Hello, my crypto sisters and brothers from different mothers. What's going down? Here's what we got. Ready? Today, we're going to talk about Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cardano. What we think. We're going to talk about the whole market. And then we're going to kind of compare that to some former technologies and see how that looks. And then at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about DeFi total value locked and the crypto market, some upcoming coins that are looked at as potential 2021 runners. Real fast on those. But today it's mostly a market view, right? We want to understand how the market works and what we can expect. Like, has the bull run, is it done? Like, is the next pullback, is that going to be the end? Is that the one that wrecks everyone? I'm going to tell you that today. All right, so if you get any value out of this and you like this, go ahead and click that thing on the bottom down there. The like button, the subscribe button, that little bell if you want to get this, when I say that or when I make them. And I make things kind of when I have time. And it depends too. Like, this is the fifth time I've made this video today due to technical difficulties. I'm trying out a new microphone today, and I didn't like it so far, but I think we're there. So let's move along. Ethereum is a first mover. What is a first mover, and what is the advantage of a first mover? A first mover is a company that gains the competitive advantage of a market by being the first to develop a new product or a new service. First movers typically establish strong brand recognition and customer loyalty. And see, Ethereum has done this. There's a lot of projects on Ethereum. A lot of people like Ethereum, and people have a lot of faith in Ethereum. And this isn't a dig on Ethereum in any means whatsoever. I like Ethereum, but they do have some issues that they need to overcome in order to remain the dominant force. The advantage of first movers include time to develop economies of scale, cost-efficient ways of producing or developing a product. And some of the disadvantages of the first mover include the risk of producing or being copied, or their products being copied, and or improved upon by the competition. And that's what people are trying to do. They see there was Bitcoin, and then Ethereum came out and brought smart contracts and gave a whole new realm of utility to how blockchain could be utilized. And so when they did that, they didn't, the ecosystem has evolved, and through that evolution other products have developed. And what this really reminds me of is the 1980s tech revolution around video, home video distribution and stuff like that. And what it was basically Betamax versus VHS. And in 1975 Sony released the Betamax shortly after JVC launched VHS, right? Okay, Betamax by many was defined to be the better product. However, VHS is the one that won out. And you can read through here, and there's some deciding factors, but basically it was a cost thing. The irony of that is that there was already a better product on the market developed before VHS, but around Laserdisc is basically what CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, that technology has evolved into. The Laserdisc story. All these links are below, by the way. So the 1980s brought a lot of new technology all at once, much like cryptocurrency and blockchain today. Some, like the VHS, became commonplace and others had trouble lasting. Laserdisc was a technology that goes all the way back to the 1950s. Yet, it did not become commercially available till the 1970s, and still, it really wasn't pushed until the 1980s, and then it was pushed out by the VCR. Laserdisc definitely had some massive problems with it, and I don't think they considered the consumer's needs the same way that the VHS did. So this goes to show that even though one product is better, it was harder for consumers to use because they couldn't touch the disc, and it had its own issues. And at the time, you have to remember that when these were coming out, microwaves were new technology. They had them back then, but the really cool, bigger ones where you could put stuff in, and home ones that were becoming affordable for middle class, lower middle class families, wasn't really until the 1980s. That was like that technological revolution for home appliances. You had look into it. We're just talking about laser discs and stuff like that, but it's a good comparison to how the blockchain technology and retail investors are looking at things today. So, Cardano Polkadot markets surpass Ripple as some bet on alternatives to Ethereum. Well, when we come back here and we look, Cardano and Polkadot are neck and neck, trying to see who's going to battle Ethereum. And they both may do, equally continue to grow at the same rate because they're both evolving systems that are competing with an established system that's trying to evolve, if that makes sense. And the legacy system has a big advantage over the contenders. So Ethereum has been around a long time. It goes, all the way back to 2015 on here. Polkadot, on the other hand, only goes back, August 2020. And then Cardano, it goes back 2017. So I would call Ethereum the Betamax. Polkadot would be VHS. And then I would call Cardano the Laserdisc. And as DeFi grows, investors are going to look for places that they can put, they want to maximize the amount that they can offer their customers. High fees for transactions is not a selling point. As DeFi grows, investors look to Polkadot to be the next Ethereum. The second largest blockchain native currency, Ether, is up 226 this year, twice as much as mooning Bitcoin. But you can go through, it says tokens like DOT on the the Polkadot blockchain, who were founded by Gavin Wood. He started on Ethereum, or he was a part of the Ethereum development, and now wrote the original project white paper for Polkadot in 2016. So he understands the complexity of Ethereum and the weaknesses of Ethereum in what he's developing into Polkadot. If that makes sense. Huge potential. Cardano, first mover. Cardano's no Ethereum killer yet, but it's winning in the crypto markets. So Cardano's digital token is soaring this year in digital asset markets on speculation the project's early embrace of proof-of-stake blockchain might put it in a stronger position to challenge the much larger Ethereum network. Prices for ADA have climbed 120% this year, the second best performance among digital assets with a market value of at least $1 billion. And it's 80% year-to-date gains on Ether, the Ethereum network's native Bitcoin or native cryptocurrency, and up 31% on Bitcoin. I'll put this link below if you want to read more on this. But Cardano has, again, huge amounts of potential, and they're incrementally building their smart contract platform. And so Ethereum has some advantages. Being one of the top cryptocurrencies and that first mover advantage gives it a large development or a large community for developers. And it also gives it a strong, fan base, if you want to say. Ethereum already has a vast network with lots of infrastructure to support the projects, decentralized derivatives, more than a dozen stablecoins, digital art marketplaces, decentralized lending platforms, decentralized exchanges, and this goes on and on and on. There are millions of people using Ethereum. Unlike Ethereum, Cardano is releasing their blockchain in stages. The first major release was the Cardano staking mechanism, and after that will come smart contracts and then scaling solutions and like side chains and so on. So you see that it's incrementally doing this, which unlike Ethereum, one of its major disadvantages is it is difficult to update. We've seen this first with Ethereum staking upgrade. It has been delayed again and again because of how many projects are already built on the top Ethereum. There is already a lot of complexity, which increases the chances of something going wrong. The network could be compromised, funds could be lost, or the new update might not work or be compatible with all users, right? There's a lot to consider on such a large platform with so many users. Cardano, on the other hand, incrementally adapting and evolving their program, they don't have to deal with that as much. It's less likely that major problems will occur. And this goes on and on if you want to read more about this. But I do believe that you're looking at Cardano could be the Laserdisc. While Polkadot rides the VHS hype of 2021, I think Polkadot in 2021 are going to be huge. And maybe you could swap those two and say that, Polkadot's going to be the Laserdisc guy. It's up to you, but tell me what you think in the comments. I'm curious to know. It's Sorry. Everybody wants to talk crypto. Talking to you, though. Crypto is now the world's 5th most circulated currency by value. Okay, let's put some perspective on this. We're going to the market now. Ready? Cryptocurrency surpasses $1 trillion. Wait a minute. We just said right here that we were... No, wait, that wasn't it. $1.5 trillion. So in 1 month, we have gone up half this. It's $500 billion in 1 month. $1.5 trillion. From 1 to 1.5. That's amazing. As you can see, Bitcoin is knocking on the door of $1 trillion by themselves in February, middle of February. By the end of the month, Bitcoin could be worth $1 trillion. That is a true possibility by the growth that it's showing right now. That's an amazing thing. We were talking about how amazing $1 trillion entire, every cryptocurrency, everything, all in one big ball was $1 trillion. That's crazy, amazing, and oh my goodness. Now where Bitcoin could be that in 2 weeks. That's amazing. Bitcoin's dominance is dropping. It's come back up a little bit, but we saw it down below 60%. Now it's back up to around 62%. As this drops, traditionally it shows more money flowing into altcoins. Smaller projects, Ethereum, it goes, kind of down like a set of stairs. Ethereum being the second step, and then so on down the market cap chair. And then down toward the bottom, it's just kind of a big free-for-all. Some projects you'll see go kaboom, while other ones don't, and they may seem better to you. It kind of just pops off here and there, kind of like a fireworks show. So don't get discouraged if some project you're looking at and you're like, man, my project's better than that, and theirs explodes. Your turn might be coming. Just give it a chance. So the cryptocurrency market altogether, we just said, was $1.5 trillion. So if we look back in December, $500 billion. So it has tripled in value since the end of November. Consider that for just a second. We have gone up $1 trillion in just over 2 or 3 months in the entire cryptocurrency market. That is amazing, amazing growth. When you're in crypto for quite a while and you see like these, you see something go up 100, 200% in a day, and then it come back down, 80%, and values go up and down, and you kind of lose value. You can lose perspective on what these numbers truly mean. If you take this and compare it to like traditional stocks, it's like crack, hyperspace, just madness. It is the number. They're hardly comparable. You don't see this kind of change in traditional finance. So, and we're at the infancy of this. It is so early. Back, for example, the 80s technology. We're back when VHS, Betamax, and Laserdisc were fighting for each other in a video store. Most of you listening probably don't even remember video stores outside of being children renting video games, if you know what I mean. It doesn't even exist anymore. It's hard. It's a hard concept for many children now to even grasp. Like, oh, you had, it's an interesting thing to consider, at least in my eyes. So the DeFi market is growing, and this is going to help this is why we're going, why we've gained $1 trillion, because money is coming into things that are giving people value and utility, and especially retail investors. So we talked about the, Laserdisc had been around since the 50s, but they weren't giving that to the customers. Retail users weren't using. Consider that like the institutional adoption. It took 20 years or whatever before they even started looking at retailers. And that's kind of where we've been. We have all these institutional adopters buying billions of Bitcoin and stuff like that. But it's not until you, the retail investor, and the retail investor that's not listening right now, that doesn't know anything about crypto other than Bitcoin is a way to hide money and they don't understand. When those people come over, that's when this is going to explode. And then that's when we're going to have Blu-rays and DVDs and CDs, and then that's going to evolve and so on. So right now, DeFi has $39.5 billion locked up. Maker's dominance is the 16%. And you can see right here by volume, or by locked USD, Maker, Aave, Compound, Curve Finance, so on. So let's step back for a second and look at what do people think about the crypto market. Right now we are throttled out, pegged, third gear, wrapped up, gears spinning, smoke flinging, 95 on the extreme greed. We are, if this was a stock, people would be looking to trade. This means that there's a major correction coming. If you don't know, usually when you see way down here, this is a great buying opportunity if the product has value. And you don't really want to try and catch that falling knife, so maybe you try to find it here as it's heading this way, and then you look to dump it about here or back, whatever your financial strategies are. But those are common. When you're way up here, this usually means that it's highly overbought. But is it? So historical Bitcoin and crypto fear and greed index, and we can see that we've slowly got the yellow, and we have these ups and downs and stuff. But I don't think that you can traditionally look at the extreme fear, the extreme greed fear index as you can with traditional finance that's been established for a very long time. This is a growing technology that changes by the second. New players are added all the time, and we went from just maybe 1,000 coins not that long ago to 6,000, just over 6,000 coins now, or whatever it is. So you have to take that into perspective as well. But as it's growing, that's usually not a bad thing. It's when it starts to taper off that you want to get out. As soon as you see the taper, that's usually like a huge red flag that this has come. This is kind of a bad example. I can't zoom out too well. I guess I can, but see right here, it kind of goes, and you're looking for any kind of movement down. That'll tell you that it's heading back over, but I don't think that that's really going to apply right now. At least not until like August or September. The market's, I feel that it's going to grow exponentially till then. The top 25 cryptocurrencies to know according to the investor place. And we see we got some big names: Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ripple, Stellar, Cardano, Doge, Polkadot, so on. And everything's on here. There's no real shockers. So here's the cryptocurrency global charts. And we can see right here. Is this the peak? Is kind of what we want to know right now, right? And I don't think so. I think that honestly, if you look over here, do you see this first little bump? That's where we're at. We're just above that first little bump right in here. And we're going to see probably another good little bit of push up. And then we're going to see a good correction. And then that's when we're going to see this kind of start to consolidate with an upward motion and then just bust out up here. And this, late summer, fall time frame, just, rough guess, kind of. That's what we're thinking. So we're looking at a $1.5 trillion market cap. What is that going to take us to? And honestly, with the adoption of stuff that's like, let's take the construction industry, a $13 trillion industry, one of the slower ones to really adopt and establish blockchain and get into. Anyway, you're starting to get those kinds of markets. You're starting to get a lot more healthcare and big money. $13 trillion, even a fraction of that, will drive this way, way up. So as these markets start to get adoption and retail users start to increase their adoption as applications, as more system. So like in Miami, I read that employees will now be able to choose if they want to get paid in Bitcoin. Andrew Yang, running for governor or mayor, he wants to turn something I saw in New York into like the next digital currency hub. There are Elon Musk talking about Dogecoin, Tesla buying $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, MicroStrategies, they're buying, I can't remember if they bought $1 billion or 600 million. And so on and so on. These are just starting to happen. And as they start, there's a little one here, a little one there. Next thing you know, everyone, well, they're doing it and it's working. And look, this dude's getting paid in Bitcoin and he's killing inflation. I'm getting paid in US dollars and my money is just going down slowly. I'm not getting the value out of it. He's getting paid in Bitcoin, using a little bit, investing in the other or whatever. And exponentially growing. Why can't I do that? And you're going to see people ask for that. And if it starts at maybe if they say federal employees could get paid in Bitcoin, this thing would just go bananas. And it doesn't have to be in the US. They could be a federal employee in any country. So think, outside of your whatever country you're watching from too. Bitcoin is global. Cryptocurrency is global. So I think a $3 to $5 trillion market cap by the end of the year, middle of March, a year and a half from now, probably $5 trillion wouldn't. And it sounds crazy to say right now, but a month ago we were at 500 billion. You see where I'm going? In a month from now, or in a year from now, I'll watch this and say 5 trillion, and I might look back and be like, wow, I really or maybe I overbid. Let me know. What do you think? We'll talk to you soon. We will keep giving you the coins. We're going to break it up into some news. And then I like the coin bundles is what I kind of call them. Like, here's the top 20. What do you think? And it's not so much a deep in-depth on those. It's more of, hey, I'm looking at my phone here and I'm checking on my assets, but I'm looking at the top gainers on, like, let's say KuCoin. And I see these other coins making 80%, 90%, 100%, but I've never even heard of them. What are they? And that's that information I'm trying to give you. I'm not trying to, like, pump the coins. I'm just trying to give you a perspective like, hey, when I look at my phone, oh yeah, I remember that was a little bit about this. That was a privacy coin. And then if I like it, I can look more. And I'll try to make videos of the ones I like the most. Anyway, cheers. I hope you get value. Like, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.